Manoranjan Mohanty, retired emeritus professor of political sciences of University of Delhi, sinologist, and director of the Chinese Indian Center of Chinese Studies.
No.
No?
Well, I was director 20 years ago.
Oh, no, not now, no more. Yeah. But you're still writing on China, India, and even the last book, the great book, is the Chinese Success and Trap of Chinese development. Yeah. Okay. Let's now Professor Mohanty take his time.
Well, friends, let me start from what was just stated. We have faced repression throughout, and we have protested, and we have won many battles, but we have to continue to fight. We had the emergency, we have had very draconian laws, we have been subjected to many kinds of repression, but the struggles go on. And I think it's very important to recognize that in India, the struggle against repression is as important as repression itself. And therefore, several of us, I mean, right now, we pledge solidarity to the farmers' movement, which is facing repression. And many such movements are facing repression. But we pledge solidarity, we go to the court, and many of us have faced the wrath on many fronts. Well, I think most of us are familiar with these experiences in our own countries. But this conference, I think, has given every one of us some sense of hope for many reasons. But the most important reason is that we see the existence and evolution of a community of liberation lovers, of fighters for liberation, for self-determination, for values which brought 29 countries to Bandung together. And today, the non-aligned movement has 120 countries and many non-state forces all over the world are part of this movement. And therefore, the historical trend is that of self-determination, liberation, and freedom and equality. Therefore, all the kinds of challenges that we face from imperialism, neocolonialism, in its many forms in the neoliberal capitalist times, we have to recognize also the resistance to them. So there is imperialism and resistance, there is colonialism and also resistance to it. And we, for example, the people's movements, which have been our reference point, and today Gabriela referred to their struggles in Mexico, and many others have referred to people's movements. They represent the resistance train. They represent the continuation from our anti-colonial struggles, which is very much alive. So that is the basis of hope. Friends, I think we analyze the crisis generated by COVID in historical terms, contemporary terms, multidimensional terms, and with focus, of course, on political economy of what has happened to our struggle against imperialism and hegemony and domination. Therefore, we have some understanding of this crisis. Two things about this crisis become very clear. One, we have a clear situation where there is a decline of imperialism, there is a shake-up of the Western domination once again, there is a very clear defeat of the health system and economic system of both United States and Europe, particularly. And therefore, the crisis very clearly shows a dividing line in world history. Once more, one other dividing line in world history. At the end of the Second World War, we had one dividing line, the defeat of fascism. And now at COVID time, we have another dividing line, that a particular kind of domination, neocolonial domination of the world has been challenged very, very effectively. So that is one. The other crisis dimension that became very clear was how economic growth and high growth has been propelled so strongly by neoliberalism through World Bank and through the Euro-American domination and their allies in all countries. The neoliberal economic forces are there in all countries, including India and China and Brazil and so many countries. And because of that, very basic human needs are neglected. Health is neglected. Public investment in health has declined and privatization has increased in every country. Investment in education and health has become a casualty because of this fiscal discipline, preoccupation. As a result, the health crisis was blatantly standing in front of us. Therefore, growth, economic growth through market forces on the one hand, that is the ideology of neocolonial and neoliberal capitalism. And on the other hand, whatever even 19th century welfareism that capitalism had, and bit of it is visible probably in Scandinavian countries to some extent, but only bit of it, because they also have turned neoliberal. And that has come back to us. In all countries, states had to reallocate resources very reluctantly in capitalist countries, US and Europe, and other countries, of course, that they have to recognize that states had to take the lead in meeting the crisis. So public investment in health and infrastructure has come to the forefront. Therefore, a new challenge to Western capitalist domination on the one hand, and challenge to the economic growth preoccupation on the other are the very distinct features of this crisis. And because this debate went to the background after the collapse of Soviet Union, once again, this debate has been revived, questioning capitalism and its basic premises. Now, as we understand the crisis, different regions of the world give us very important messages. And therefore, when we see the NAM legacy in different parts of the world, and that was a smart idea to see how these countries and regions were relating themselves. Unfortunately, I was busy in these other sessions. I would have liked, still, I bunked one of my own sessions and joined a Latin American session. In fact, 3 messages come from 3 continents. One from Latin America, one from Africa, and one from Asia. The Latin American message is that imperialism succeeds sometimes, but not always. You see the coup d'etats again and again in Latin America, but they also have been difficult. And so we had these very interesting papers on Chile, Peru, Bolivia, of course, Cuba, and so on. And Brazil, how the Brazilian case is, manifesting today, the high case of neoliberalism and neo-fascism. Therefore, the message from Latin America is resistance is as permanent as imperialist domination. And therefore, you have periods of victory, of liberation, and periods of takeover. But those takeover through military coup d'etat by CIA-sponsored various regimes or the America-sponsored regimes, they are not permanent. I think Cuba, Venezuela, Bolivia, Chile, they tell us these examples. That so the message from Latin America is that no question of accepting long-term defeat. History doesn't show that. History shows that imperialism gets defeated, and that is a damn legacy from Latin America. From where so many important theories of world system, planetary civilization, unequal development have come. From Africa, the same story, but even more, because the anti-racism struggle has united much of Africa, and also they have so many interreligious and ethnic struggles manipulated by Western neocolonial forces that they had to face very, very serious situation. So therefore, the African Union, formerly Organization of African Unity, has emerged very clearly as a very important force. Therefore, unity of liberation forces is the most important message from Africa, something which has occasionally been seen in Latin America and has not been seen in Asia, but in Africa, it is very visible. From Asia, the message is that of challenge to the Euro-American political economic domination. During the Cold War to post-Cold War, unipolarism and neoliberal period. The challenge has come from East Asia and particularly China. And so the Asian message is that it is possible to build alternatives. That takes me to some of our thematic sessions, which take two very important issues relating to the Nam legacy and the Bandung legacy. One issue is what kind of development, and COVID brought that paradigm of development to the fore. And this is why, even though Russia and China have questioned Western hegemonic domination, and BRICS is the new forum which has the possibility of carrying forward the NAM legacy, and we had some papers on that. But on the paradigm of development, the BRICS leadership, BRICS dominant models have not made important departures. Now, the paradigm of development is still neoliberal. The dominant economic model in India is neoliberal. In China, Dimitris described it part non-capitalist and part capitalist. That was a very interesting characterization of China. It is a communist party-led rule system, in my view. The book that Darwis referred to, developing a kind of capitalism with Chinese characteristics, but state-led, and still there are many contradictions because of the legacy of revolution and China and socialism. Therefore, China does have the potentiality of leading the NAM legacy of transition to a democratic world, non-hegemonic world. But its very success, I have said, has created a trap out of which it cannot go. If it goes, then it is afraid of losing its power to challenge the West and handling other contradictions. This is why it's very important that world civil society has to get mobilized to pressurize countries like China and other Asian countries and African countries and Latin American countries to see that there is a paradigmatic change. If there is one message from COVID, it is that you have to replace this 200-year-old economic development model of capitalism, which colonialism brought to the rest of the world, and now neoliberalism has made it stronger. And you have compatriots of the European and American bourgeoisie in all the countries. And therefore, the paradigmatic change is most important. And this came out in the ecology session. This came out in many sustainable development papers. This came out in our new globalism session and many Latin American and African sessions. Therefore, I know my 20 minutes are almost over. The what I would say, and the slogan, I would say, "Viva Pachamama." Is Beatrice listening? Monica listening?
Pachamama. Yeah, wonderful. Wonderful. Gabriela would love that. I will write to her.
And therefore, how economic development has to be reoriented. And the Bandung model and the NAM model have developed now to finding alternatives to neoliberalism. That was the message from the NAM film also yesterday. Therefore, the new model, call it socialist. I would call it an alternative socialist model, but not the old socialist model. It has to be democratic, grassroots movement oriented, decentralized, sustainable, nature friendly, socially just, gender just. And this is the message from the gender panels, that all the social exclusive factors have to be factored into development. But growth has generated so much inequalities, and COVID exposed the amount of gender disparities and exploitation of women all over the world, and exploitation of the blacks, exploitation of migrant labor. In India, we had these vivid scenes. Now, therefore, it has to be equitable, sustainable, gender-friendly, gender-just, and participatory, decentralized development that gives local people their choice of paths. And therefore, the new community, the new Bandung community that we are creating, it is growing. And I think this conference has created new dimensions. It has added new hope and new strength, new optimism to the emergence of the Bandung community. And this community must produce documents to be submitted to the United Nations, to the NAM Secretariat and the NAM President, and to all the regional associations of the different parts of the world. And therefore, I think we have a similar slogan from the Gandhians. We say Jai Jagat, means victory, Viva Pachamama, but Viva Jagat means universe. In other words, human species and the other species. The reason why COVID came in such a serious, devastating way is that humans and nature have split so much because of this neoliberal capitalist development. And we have to reunite and create a new universe of all species, human and nature, composing together the new community of the future, the Bandung community, helping in creation of the new global community for a new universal community. Thank you very much. Viva Pachamama, Viva Bandung, Viva Na.
Viva Manu. We need a new human rights declaration, including natural resources, including nature.
Thank you very much. I will not add extra discourse. So I just want to express my thing, but I would like to share something. Let me see if I have opened already. Oh yeah.
Somebody should take a screenshot. Akhil, please.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
Darwis is making some presentations.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. Great.
Yes.
Wait for me.
So, well, before
Darwis, I could not see our flag. Oh, yes, I can. I can. It's there. It's there.
Oh.
It's there.
Yeah.
before ending, this is the, well, we have 306 registered participants,
Oh, great.
but total effective 175 participants.
That's
Effective.
good. Good.
No bad.
With 107 presenters,
Okay, great.
59 nationalities,
Great.
Okay.
49 countries.
Okay.
So this is the countries, and I mix countries and nationalities. You recognize this flag. So just tell me if your flag is not included. Raise your hand.
Uruguay is not included.
Oh, Uruguay. Yes, I'm sorry. But
And Cyprus also. is not-
I'm
no, no, no.
Brazilian, but
Yes.
I was born in Uruguay.
Okay.
sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
Cyprus is not included? Cyprus?
Cyprus, yes. This one,
Okay. Okay.
besides
Okay.
Cuba.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So Uruguay, I'm sorry. But in the final report, it will be included.
We are little but very strong.
Yeah. Any other country missing? No?
Maybe you can include French Guyana as well. They do have a flag.
Yeah, but is there any participant from French Guyana?
Well,
No,
I
this
saw
is
the- I saw the report.
this is the countries represented by the participants. That's what
Yes.
yeah. Okay. So and well, I think we have done a very interesting conference.
Darwis, a special vote of thanks to the students who have made a great
I am
contribution.
going to say
Okay.
something.
Darwis,
It's not finished.
I would like to suggest to include the flag of Indian Bolivia, which is the Wipala.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I
Okay.
take note.
Yeah, excellent.
Okay, so I continue. All this is possible thanks to our students.
Thank you.
And that we succeeded to organize our conference with very complex exercise. You imagine when we decided at the end in our meeting of scientific council of this conference, at the end of December, we decided to organize our conference fully online.
Online.
And we did not know yet at that time, what will we do? System. Even Zoom is not yet spread. Even our university have not bought yet license of Zoom. And we, with student, we try that we will have 5 sessions parallel or 6 sessions. So every student will provide Zoom link for every sessions. But fortunately then our university bought the license of Zoom, so that all the students and lecturers and personnel of the Havre University, they have Zoom account unlimited. That's thanks to this also that we can organize this. And then we made a simulation with the students, how we will do this. And there are working groups among the students who collect the data to make a database of the conference. That's why I can tell you exactly how many participants, how many countries. There are still many data. I forgot to tell you important data, the proportion between women and men in our conference. You want to know?
Yes. Women
Well,
more.
you know, what do you think? What is the proportion in terms of percentage? Is
50-50.
woman higher or less?
Higher.
You are wrong.
Higher.
You
Higher.
are wrong. The woman 48,37% and men 50.98%.
Nice, we're very close.
And other, because in our forms, we gave a possibility to those who do not want to be classified as woman or man.
Yes, yes.
It is only 0.65%. But still in this, you reveal that the man is higher proportion than woman. So I will not take more time. It's just to show you how important is the role of our students in what, and this is possible because in the program of master's degree in exchange with Asia, in the curriculum, there is a course called PIC, P-I-C, which means project of interest, collective interest. And the student can choose what they wish. They can organize conference. They can organize exhibition. They can organize evening, and it will be credited, and they will get points. So this is a part of the curriculum of the master's degree in exchange with Asia. That's why the students are also motivated to choose one or the other project. So there are 2 groups of students working on the conference. One group is working on the technical aspect of the conference. This is those who prepare the link, prepare the communication with the participant, preparing the invitation, preparing the certificate of participation, solving all the emergency issues, like what happened when the link doesn't work, that the link the participant did not receive any link, etc., etc. All are managed by students. And the second group is the students who are preparing the report. So you have 6 parallel sessions. So there are 6 working group who will prepare the conference report in terms of content. So this are a part of what is called project of collective interest. So I would like to call students who are willing to maybe to say something. So
Okay.
who is willing to say something among our students? Yes, okay. Guillaume, please.
So I'll be very brief. Thank you all for coming. It's been great listening to every conversation, every debate, every remarks. It's been tough organizing this meeting. We've been working on it with Mr. Khudori and the student team for well over 3 months now. Therefore, I would like to congratulate every student that took part in the organization. Agathe, Najoua, Elise, Marie, Darya, Aurore, Yasmine, Gwenaëlle, Maud, Sphéris, Myriam,
Maybe
Darel, Elise.
they should show up on the
Oh,
screen.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
it possible?
It-
One by
yeah,
one.
please. Yeah,
Yeah, that'll be great. Yeah. Okay.
great.
Who is that? Elise, yes.
Elise.
Thank you.
Elise is the one who is watching the main hall. So every time she was sending people to the small rooms, etc. It's Elise.
Okay. Great done. Yeah.
Excellent.
And then Maud is the one who collect the data, the database.
Yes, with my
Excellent one.
Yes, please say something.
I want to say thank you to all. I was in room 5 with some of you for the geopolitics session, for example, and it was very interesting. And yeah, it was a good experience. And yeah, like Guillaume said, it was very tough sometimes, but it was a pleasure to listen to you all. So thank you, and I received almost all of your abstract, and I will transfer it.
Yes, who has prepared the abstract, the compilation of abstract is Maud.
Yeah, thank you all.
And she learned Chinese. Elise is learning what? Japanese, no?
Yes, and Chinese.
Japanese and Chinese, and Maud is
Right,
Chinese.
okay.
So next, who is going to show up? Spheris.
Elisa, não me togo da
Spheris, your
Okay.
no voice.
Can't hear me. Oh, sorry.
Spheris is learning Japanese, Korean and Japanese, I think. No voice. Oh, so microphone doesn't work. Okay, Spheris is the one who is in charge of maintaining the main hall stay alive from morning to evening. Because if there's nobody in the main hall, and then if there is a question, then there is no answer. So Spheris is guarding the main hall from morning to the evening. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Dispatching the participant to the small rooms.
Okay,
Who
my
else?
microphone is working, so thank you everyone for participating and for your patience.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. And who else? No more?
Oh, yes, I want to speak.
Yes, Aurore is very important person because
Yeah, very
she
important.
is the one who communicate with you.
Right.
For the invitation, for the certificate
right.
of participation. Aurore, please.
I want to thank everyone for their kind mails, and I appreciate every one of you. And I hope you had a good time with us. And I had personally a good time with you. So yeah, and thank you to the technical team as well.
Thank you.
And Aurore is learning Korean.
Okay.
So who else who want to show up? No, they are shy. Okay, if there's Spheris, nobody, no more.
Here, Miriam.
Yes, Miriam. Miriam is learning Japanese.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to all of you and to the student who organized that. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Miriam is among the, you know, that 6 room. So Miriam has to maintain a small room. I don't remember which room. Okay. Another one more. There are 14 students, technical team.
Yeah.
If there is no more.
What about your other colleagues?
No. Okay. Well, that's all. I think what I want to say that I would like to thank you very much. Firstly, for all participants. Secondly, presenters. Thirdly, the scientific council, because all this conference cannot be done without the contribution of the preparation by the scientific board of our conference. And the scientific board is the one who make the credibility, the authority, the legitimacy of our conference. In order that our conference to be credible in the eyes of people, in the eyes of government, in the eyes of scholars. This is very important. Scientific board is the soul of our conference. And of course,
the real soul is Darwis Khudori. Great.
Oh, thank you. It's don't exaggerate. Thank you.
Yes, great. Thank you, Darwis.
Yeah, I am just like what I said when I presented Sukarno. I'm network builder and solidarity maker. That's my role. And then
successfully
with ideas and energy.
Yeah, thank you. And of course, what else? So participants, students already as presenters, scientific board members, and of course the university co-organizing institution from Khudori College from Delhi and Universitas Erlangga from Surabaya, besides Universitas Paris 1, Panthéon-Sorbonne, and Université of Le Havre, Normandie. So that's, I don't think I have, well, I think it's enough because it's too much already for me. Thank you very much. And we are preparing. I don't know if I don't know if Universitas Erlangga still committed to be the hosting institution for our next conference on Bandung, Belgrade, Havana, which will take place in October this year. Dia, you want to say something?
Yes, thank you, Pak Darwis. I think we are still committed, and I hope to see you all. And we hope and pray that this pandemic will be over soon. Like Indonesian government have started the vaccines. So I hope that things work well, and we can travel, because the problems right now is the closure of the borders. Like Indonesian government will not accept tourists or whoever coming to Indonesia with tourist visa. So I hope things are better, much better, and we are allowed to travel.
Yeah, in fact, before the pandemic, there is commitment of 3 Indonesian institutions in Surabaya, in Bandung, and Jakarta. They coordinated each other in order to prepare the conference Bandung, Belgrade, Havana in 3 cities. We were going to move from Surabaya to Bandung and then to Jakarta for 1 week, full 1 week in Indonesia.
Great.
So that's what. And the institution already committed. They prepared the budget, and then we have designed how to move from city to the other. Will we rent bus or we will take train, etc. We have already planned all this before the COVID. So I hope that we can maintain this plan. So I think For the time being, that's fine. Thank you again. Thank you very much. And keep in touch by email. And also the idea, I quote the idea of two persons, of Dimitris and Isaac. Yeah, thank you. Dimitris and Isaac for launching a kind of network newsletter of our network. And Isaac, I think, is ready to take a lead in this. Isaac, you want to say something?
Yes, very short. Thank you, Darwis, and thank you, everybody. It was a pleasure. This idea is to keep in touch and just publish what you are doing, what you are publishing, so that we can, be informed and then share activities and so on. With your permission, I can send you a draft, and then we will see how to handle it. And it's up to you. You send us informations, and we will just try to bring to make them public, and then send them through the network. So it's a simple idea, but it could help so that we can be keep in touch. Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it is I can trust, because I think Isaac is the director of a research laboratory in his university in Quebec, Montreal, with a strong commitment to Africa. I think it's a reliable institution and reliable person, of course, of Isaac. So I hope that things move on and for good. Thank you very much. That's all, and no song. I don't know if there's something. Auf Wiedersehen. This is very German, but.
Auf Wiedersehen, adios. No vamos a bailar. Shall we dance, perhaps?
Yeah, physically we will go. We will dance. But...
Do widzenia.
No, thank you. And there is
thank you very much, Darwis.
I don't think that we can take photo. I don't think then we can take photos, because too many people. It is not contained on screen. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Darwin, and for everybody.
Thank you. Really was
Thank you.
Yeah. Excellent. Great work.
Thank you.
And great to see you all.
Thank you.
Abraço.
Bye. Go back to Rio de Janeiro.